All right. Anna Marie, you are on.
Okay. The media is the main cause of social decay among children. I'm going to first show you how the media has made it normal to show violent behavior on TV and social media channels. Second, I'm going to discuss the effect of sexual content on the social outlets and the way it's desensitizing the sexual experiences that should be important. And last, I'm going to discuss the growing problem of alcohol in our youth due to the popularity of it in the media. It's estimated that on average, 18-year-olds have viewed over 200,000 acts of violence on television. Shows like The Bad Girls Club glorify bad behavior and violent and aggressive people. They show that you can get on television and be paid handsomely for it. Websites like World Star Hip Hop are full of videos of people fighting one another. There's a video on there of a young girl who's no more than 12, and she's beating someone up in a locker room, and it's literally just to be on the show. They show that you can put up these wild videos just to get followers. Television alone is responsible for 10% of youth violence. This came from the Senate Judiciary Committee staff report. The Kaiser Family Foundation also found that television time for children ages 2 to 7 is unsupervised 81% of the time. We have shows like The Walking Dead, where the child on the show, Carl, has his own gun and has to kill his own mother so that she doesn't turn into a zombie. Carl is actually a prime example of this. He is so desensitized from the zombie apocalypse that he turns into a little soldier without remorse. When all you see is violence and it becomes acceptable, even if it's on television. It becomes acceptable because it is now the norm. Media has also created an image of sexuality that we cannot avoid. 10 million people watched the 2013 MTV VMAs. So that's 10 million people that saw Lady Gaga's seashell outfit and 10 million people that watched Miley Cyrus twerk in a very exposing nude color outfit on Robin Thicke and the teddy bears of her show. These artists have followers and reach so many of our youth. With that being said, when they see their idols dressing and dancing around like that on national TV, it sends the message that it's cool and that successful women need to show their bodies to gain approval from the mass. A recent survey revealed that 20% of teens have sent or posted a nude or semi-nude photograph of videos of themselves. This came from the American Academy of Pediatrics. The Kaiser Foundation found that 75% of primetime programs contained sexual references, and only 17% of those had safe sex messages. Shows are becoming more and more risky, with more and more of their main characters jumping into sexual relationships with one another only after dating for a few of those episodes. Then there's reality TV shows like 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom. These shows are highly addictive and influential to young girls. They idolize these moms. 16 and Pregnant alone has reached over 31 million viewers to date. But although the show was created to decline the number of teen pregnancies, there have been instances where it created them. There is an episode of Dr. Phil where he talks to a young couple that intentionally became pregnant to get on the show. They never were picked, but the idolization of the show created a consequence that will last their whole lives. The last problem I'd like to address is the media's influence on our youth and drinking alcohol. Research from the Journal of Alcohol and Alcoholism found that alcohol is responsible for at least 4,600 deaths per year of people under 21. It also found that watching movies and programs or even ads that feature drinking immediately makes you want to drink an average of more than 1.5 bottles. Shows today center around alcohol with the basis that no good story ever started with someone eating a salad. Shows like the earlier mentioned Bad Girls Club depict the volatile women and their sloppy behaviors when they turn up. Television grows on the basis that you need to drink to have fun and be accepted. That partying is only fun when you throw back shots and slur your way to a good time. The media engulfs our youth's free time, whether it be social feeds, music, or television shows that are constantly pushing the envelope to go bigger or don't bother. And this is why I feel that media is the main reason to the social decay of children today.
All right, Anna Marie, you state your claim very clearly at the beginning. You've got an excellent layout of what the secondary points, so there's no doubt about where your argument is going and how you plan on getting there. The secondary issues, you signpost them in the body of the speech, so we pretty much know where you are at any given time. I think sometimes your transitions between the points could be a little bit smoother, but they are still relatively clear. The evidence that you have, you're very dependent on example evidence to illustrate that the media has this influence. And you've got lots of contemporary examples. I don't think you need a source citation for the fact that these shows are on the air. You know, I think most people, we're willing to concede that. That's not a big deal. But for instance, when you say that the kids idolize these people on these shows, I need something that says that that's going on. I mean, the people I know who see these shows, and I don't know many people, you know, I got to be frank. My students would be the people who are most likely to see those shows. Their comment on it is usually ridicule. You know, see how stupid these people are. They're watching it because these are all idiots. And you're going the opposite direction on this. I'm going, okay, so what reason do I have to believe that that is the case, that that's going on? And that's the place where I think there's some weakness. So I think you've got good examples, but you need some follow-up evidence on that. The one piece of information that you had that kind of suggested that there was this kind of connection is a somewhat vague reference to a Dr. Phil episode. All right, and that, you know, if you're going to use that example, that I think you need to have something a little bit sharper in terms of citation on it. I thought there was some good statistical information about the frequency with which people are exposed to this kind of material, and that was fine. The conclusion that the media is responsible for 10%, that's a pretty strong statement, and it seems to be made in passing without much explanation as to how that statistic was arrived at. And so that seems to me to be something that needed a lot more development and a lot more proof on it. So there's some weakness there. Like I said, the examples I think make the argument interesting, but they're not necessarily making it convincing. You do a pretty good job delivering the speech. I think your eye contact could be a little stronger, but it flows very smoothly while you're talking to us. And I think that, you, like I said, you summarized the issue pretty well. The strongest things that you have going are the organizational material and the examples. And like I said, you need more backing for the arguments there. All right, thank you.